Welcome, all new viewers and subscribers to the Short Story Universe audio channel. This channel provides original comic book stories. The stories feature fantastic music tracks along with cool visuals. The comic book stories on this channel are highly entertaining. In addition, the comic book stories teach story structure, character development, how to create new cities and new planets, design fantasy weapons and armor, understand superpowers and abilities, and lots more. Coming up is an example of the fantastic comic book stories on this channel. Listen, learn, enjoy. The life of a superhero. In the car headed to the Dead Star crash site. What are your thoughts on all this, grandmother? Asked Fredric Faux. Nathan Powell got elected as President of the United States just so he can clean up his mess, said Marsh Faux. Precisely, said Fredric. His space station project failed once Thrawn and the other robots took over, said Marcia. Thrawn says not only were he and other robots mistreated as space station construction workers, also they were secretly used for entertainment purposes, i.e., battle arena type of fighting, said Fredric. Upon an internal investigation, Nathan Powell found no evidence of these claims, said Marcia. Of course, your own investigators aren't going to come back with any real evidence, said Fredric. It's a fake investigation, said Marcia. Now since the investigators found nothing, Nathan Powell doesn't want to apologize to Thrawn and get this country back to normal, said Fredric. That's admitting your space company did something wrong, said Marcia. So, let's hear what the newly elected United States President has to say, said Fredric as he quickly powered on the high-tech device located on the car's control panel. Acceptance speech/US. President Nathan Powell. I will secure this country from all terrorist attacks, i.e., domestic, foreign, outer space, etc. That statement goes double for Thrawn, said President Powell. The crowd went crazy as they applauded and cheered. If you cross the line, you'll experience firsthand what I, President Powell, simply will not tolerate, said President Powell. Again, the crowd cheered and applauded. In the car headed to the Dead Star crash site. Turn it off, shouted Marcia. We're about to go to war with a terrorist robot named Thrawn, said Fredric as he laughed out loud. This is a serious mess, said Marcia. Okay, we're getting close to the crash site, said Fredric. Don't get too close to it, said Marcia. Everyone is reporting that the debris is falling into one area, said Fredric. I only want to see the debris, not feel them hitting my head, said Marcia. I got you, grandmother, said Fredric. Crash site. I'm staying right here inside the car, said Marcia. I gots to get a closer look, said Fredric as he quickly exited the car with the most excited look on his face. Fredric rushed over towards a large crowd of people. Suddenly, Fredric let out the loudest cry as he grabbed the center of his chest area. Bro, are you okay? Asked a young man. It's my chest, said Fredric. He's hit, shouted a young lady. Everyone get the heck out of here, shouted an older gentleman. Thus, the large crowd panicked as they raced off towards their cars. Crash site Fredric back in the car. What is it? Asked Marcia with the most alarmed look on her face as the crowd passed by the car. Something hit me in the chest area, said Fredric as he quickly got back into the car. Oh my gosh, shouted Marcia. I'm getting us out of here, said Fredric as he drove the car backward and made a quick U-turn. The Faux House. Why didn't you go straight to the hospital? Asked Fredric's wife named Zosha Faux as she and Marcia helped Fredric through the living room's front door. Then I'll get fined $1 gazillion for being near the crash site, said Fredric. Plus, medical insurance doesn't cover falling Dead Star debris, said Fredric's adopted daughter named Kimiko Faux as she entered the living room. I feel lightheaded, said Marcia. We got this, said Zosha as she gestured for Marcia to rest herself in her rocking chair. It's only a tiny piece stuck in there, said Kimiko. Just pull it out of me, said Fredric. This is going to hurt, said Zosha as she removed the tiny debris from Fredric's chest. Grandmother, said Kimiko as she curiously gazed at her grandmother's motionless body. What? No, shouted Fredric. She's gone, said Zosha with tears in her eyes. Marcia Faux's funeral. I'm totally sorry, grandmother, whispered Fredric as he stood over his grandmother's grave. Everything is going to be okay, whispered Zosha. What is that? Asked Fredric as he suddenly felt energies all over his body. I feel it too, said Zosha as she curiously gazed deep into Fredric's eyes. I left school early, on my way home, said the voice message from Kimiko on Fredric's high-tech wrist device. The Faux House. You too? Asked Zosha as she gazed into Kimiko's eyes with the biggest smile on her face. What's? Asked Kimiko. What's going on? Asked Fredric as he read Kimiko's thoughts. We've got superpowers, shouted Zosha as she cheered and applauded. I felt something go over me earlier at school, said Kimiko as she too cheered and applauded. It must have something to do with the debris that was stuck in my chest, said Fredric. The same debris that me and Kimiko were exposed to, said Zosha. So, we know I can read minds, said Fredric. I can hypnotize, said Zosha as she waved her hands at the family cat. Thus, the cat froze in one spot. Kimiko, said Fredric as he curiously gazed into Kimiko's eyes. I can do this, said Kimiko as she quickly picked up the sofa and she held it up with one hand. You have mega strengths, said Zosha. We need superhero names, shouted Kimiko. Mine has to be Dead Star, said Fredric. I think Stellar fits me, said Zosha. I'm Cosmic Kid, said Kimiko. What is this? Asked Fredric as he read the alert message on his high-tech wrist device. What does it say? Asked Zosha. You've been selected to join the 4th Deep Space Detachment. We will retrieve you in 30 minutes, said Fredric. I'd bet it's something to do with Thrawn, said Zosha. Duty calls, said Fredric. Duty calls, said Kimiko. This is the life of a superhero, said Zosha as she, Fredric, and Kimiko cheered and jumped all around. 30 minutes later. A single passenger drone from the 4th Deep Space Detachment retrieved Fredric. As a result of his superpowers, Fredric was titled Captain of the 4th Deep Space Detachment. Hours later / outer space. The 4th Deep Space Detachment cheered on board the militant war shuttle. Fredric as the superhero Dead Star along with the 4th Deep Space Detachment defeated Thrawn and his army of robots. Next, they liberated the human scientists held hostage. During Thrawn's trial, Dead Star gave an apology on behalf of the human race for any mistreatment of robot space station construction workers. Next day / the Faux home. Covered with a warm, pink bunny blanket, Fredric was asleep in his grandmother's rocking chair. Duty calls, said Kimiko as she read the alert message on Fredric's high-tech wrist device. The life of a superhero, shouted Zosha. Kimiko as Cosmic Kid and Zosha as Stellar heroically raced out the living room's front door. If you like this video, simply click the like button and please subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to click the bell notification to keep up with new comic book content uploaded to this channel. Your fantastic comments down in the comments section help YouTube's algorithm discover this video. Again, welcome to Short Story Universe Audio. Thanks for watching.